Hi, welcome to my channel, Drawing of Horror. My name is Jamie. I am a horror movie fanatic and I'm an artist. So I thought, why not create a channel devoted to two of my favorite things in the world, and like, who doesn't like horror? If you don't like horror, I'm questioning your taste in movies. Okay, anyway, today is my very first video, and I thought for my first synopsis and review, I would do it on a horror classic, which is Hellraiser. Yay! Hellraiser is actually adapted from a novella by Clive Barker titled The Hellbound Heart. The movie Hellraiser came out in 1987 and had a budget of about $1 million. Back then, in the 80s, that would have been a decent budget, but for the actual movie, it was a small budget for what it called for. Hellraiser begins with husband and father Larry Lawrence acquiring a house that his brother Frank has seemingly abandoned. Frank is known for his frequent disappearing acts, so it is not a surprise to Larry to find that his brother is missing. Julia is Larry's wife and stepmother to his daughter Kirsty. Immediately, we are introduced to the strained relationship between Julia and Kirsty, with Julia clearly disdaining Kirsty, which we don't really know why, and Kirsty mistrusting Julia. As the story develops, we learn that the missing brother, Frank, is a criminal and a deviant, and that he had a sexual affair with Julia, through which Julia is consumed with a deep infatuation with Frank. A single room in the house harbors a grotesque secret that one fateful day is revealed after Larry accidentally cuts his hand during their move and spills his blood upon the floorboards. In one of the most memorable and shocking scenes of Hellraiser, we are treated to the reconstruction and reanimation of the body of the long-lost Frank as the blood of Larry revitalizes him. I've seen this movie about 10 times, probably more, and that scene still is probably one of the most shocking scenes of any horror movie I've seen. It was just really beautifully shot, and to see Frank's body emerging from the floorboards and his spine and musculature system coming out. I won't share anymore, but it's a really spectacular scene. Julia is horrified to discover her lost love Frank has returned to our realm, and in his weakened state requires Julia to bring him victims he will cannibalize to renew his strength and continue his body's transformation. Meanwhile, Kirsty suspects something amiss with Julia and the house, and she soon discovers that her wicked Uncle Frank is a monstrous creature hiding within the house. Frank, in his much strengthened state after feeding on the victims Julia has dutifully brought him, confronts and aggresses on Kirsty. Kirsty flees, and with her the box that is the puzzle to unleashing the hell from which Frank has escaped. Kirsty divines the box's puzzle accidentally and is met with Cenobites, demonic entities from the realm of hell. The Cenobites make Kirsty a deal to reclaim her Uncle Frank in exchange for not taking Kirsty to hell, where they will tear her soul apart, which is that famous quote that comes from the movie. A little more on the Cenobites. In the original Hellraiser, the Cenobites they're not as iconic as they come to develop in the sequels. Like, for example, the character that I'm working on in this video, Pinhead, he didn't have the name Pinhead in Hellraiser. That was a name developed by the fans of Hellraiser, and with time, all of the Cenobites had a name, a moniker developed from the fans who just love Hellraiser because it became such a cult classic. So my review of Hellraiser, my first impression, it was conveying a sense of bleakness and foreboding across all the scenes. It just really had a dark feel to it, like a grungy dark feel. I liked how the characters developed throughout the film, adding a very real human element and struggle to grow alongside the fantasy and horror elements. As you got to know the characters, you really did become attached to them to an extent, which, it's going to make a good movie, especially with how much comes about in the movie in the way of like harming the characters. Hellraiser is a shocking and disturbing film for those new and old to horror, combining some of the darkest depravities known to mankind. The practical effects, while mostly stellar, do at times falter, usually from what was a lack of time and budget during filming. You can see during during the movie that some of the special effects are just like cheap things they got from like a party store. It's if you don't look too closely and you're just enjoying the movie, you know it won't matter, but it's just kind of laughable sometimes. Just try not to let it ruin the movie, but then there's like some really great special effects that the scene that I was explaining earlier that really make up for it. So overall, the special effects greatly complement the plot of the movie. Hellraiser is a horror classic and a cultural movie icon that no horror fan should miss out on experiencing. And I truly mean that. As a big horror fan, I would say Hellraiser is one of my top 10 horror movies I feel that all people that love horror should watch and enjoy. I think I saw it for the first time when I was a child. I don't recommend that, but it's not for children. But as an adult, I think it's really going to appeal to so many different things. It's got torture, murder, what else? Cannibalism, demons. It's got it all. It's really worth watching. This is the finished painting that I did for the movie Hellraiser. Yeah, it was really fun to draw and paint. It was hard but really enjoyable. If you enjoyed the synopsis and review, please like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.